episode of Board Games and Stuff. One of the cool things about becoming a parent is that you get to share things with your children that you had a love for when you were a child, whether it be places you went, or food you ate, or things you did. Board games are one of those great platforms where you can make this transition to where something you enjoyed as a child you can now enjoy with your children. Something that I've enjoyed as a parent is sharing movies that I really loved as a child with my kids. Sometimes it doesn't go over quite so well and the movies don't really stand up, but other times it does. But there's no secret about it because you've probably already seen the title of the episode, but the movie I'm going to be talking about this time is Goonies. I got to share this movie with my son when he was in his preteen age, and I just recently got to share it with my daughter. They both really have enjoyed this movie. It's one that's really stood out, and every time we take family vacations, it's one of the few that we seem to always bring and watch. A funny story about the Goonies is it came out in 1985. I had just moved to New Jersey, and we were living with some cousins at the time. A cousin of mine, Matt, had just got his license literally about a week before the movie hit the theaters, and he begged his father to borrow the car so that he could take me and a friend of mine to go see the Goonies. On the way there, he gets in a car accident. Needless to say, we never made it there. I didn't get to see the Goonies until it actually came out on VHS a little while later, probably a year after that. Then, of course, I picked this up, and this is pretty much the standard that we've been watching and I've been showing my kids for the past couple of years. Well, last year they came out with something even better. This 25th Anniversary Edition. That's what we're going to be talking about in this episode mainly. Now, if you don't know too much about the Goonies, I'm not going to really go into it, but it's an action-adventure about a bunch of kids that find a treasure map and they go off to try to save their town by finding all the loot that they can from this treasure. It's got some great actors, Sean Astin, Josh Brolin. This was one of his first roles. I think it was his first role. Corey Feldman, Martha Plimpton is in this. Of course, Joe Pantoliano as Francis Fratelli. One thing that some people don't know about the Goonies is that John Matuszak actually played Sloth in the movie, but he was this grotesque creature, and he actually starred in a ton of movies and TV shows in the late 80s, including One Crazy Summer, Caveman, and Ice Pirates. Unfortunately, due to heart failure, John actually passed away at the early age of 38. There's a scene in the movie where you can see Sloth wearing a Oakland Raiders t-shirt, because John Matuszak was an NFL player who played for the Oilers, I believe, and the Raiders as well. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so I'm going to just kind of quickly be talking about the movie itself and the contents of the 25th Anniversary Edition, which I should probably let you know that it's not actually a DVD. It only comes with Blu-ray, which you probably can notice that it's still package wrapped. That's because I don't own a Blu-ray player yet. Feel free to send me one so I can watch this Blu-ray edition of the movie. But after I talk about that for a few minutes, the big guy we're going to be talking about here is Goonies, the board game. That's right, this little guy comes inside the box with the 25th Anniversary DVD. So we're going to check this out. The DVD comes with some really cool storyboards here that you can see from different shots from the movie that are pretty cool, but what I really like is that it comes with some deleted scene storyboards that you can see here, and they have some things on the bottom that kind of tell you about the scene. Here's one of a Rolling Grim Reaper, the gorilla scene, and of course some storyboards of the infamous cut octopus scene. It also comes with a pretty nice Where Are They Now booklet that kind of shows the some of the main cast members and what they've been up to, and little mini interviews with them. And one of the last things that it comes with, other than the board game, is just a really nice little mini thick collector's edition kind of tell-all book about the movie and the characters with different shots and screens and things inside. I haven't had too much of a chance to look through this, but it's really cool. Okay, and here's the box that the board game comes in itself. As you can see here, it's for 2 to 4 players. So inside the box, you're going to get a nice stack of Goonies cards. The deck of cards is made up of a bunch of move cards numbered from 2 to 6. The colors don't mean anything, and there's also some special move cards. The game comes with some paper-thin gold doubloons and 3 paper-thin skull tokens. Also in the game are 6 pretty thick little stand-up cardboard pieces. You've got Data, Mikey, Mouth, Chunk, and Andy. The rule book is just a 2-page fold-out rules. The board unfolds, and it ends up being pretty small. You can see the kind of the fold creases there. That's the size of the DVD case. So it's essentially the size of 6 DVD cases. Setup is pretty simple. You will just place the 3 skull tokens randomly on the skull tokens of the board, and then everyone will place their starting tokens on the start spot. Each player will then be dealt a hand of 3 movement cards. Play is simple. On their turn, the players will just choose one of the 3 movement cards in their hand, play it, and move either forward or backwards that many spaces. Some movement cards have special abilities such as this one, which can send any player into lockup. If your character is in lockup, or if you land on one of the many trap spaces on the board, what you'll do is you will just flip the top 3 cards of the deck. And as long as those 3 cards total 7 or more, you get to move out. Every time a character does successfully complete a trap, they earn a gold doubloon. A gold doubloon can then be spent to just automatically escape a trap in the future. Once a player's token either lands on or passes over one of the skull spaces on the board, he flips that token over. If it's a go back token, that player will go back to the white crystal space. If the token is flipped over and it's a one-eyed Willie key, then the player just has to make his way to the escape portion of the board and also have 3 gold doubloons, and they win the game. Collecting the 3 gold doubloons are actually the most difficult part of the game because you have to get the right number card and land on the space exactly. Then you have to flip the 3 cards off of the deck and hope it's 7 or higher to get the 3 doubloons. Once you have them, it's just a matter of a 1/3 chance that you're going to flip over the key token and move on past the skull trap here at the end. I guess it's a trap. I actually seen someone 7 times in a row grab the go back token because you have to reshuffle these 3 after every time a player passes over that area. Is this a good game? No, it's a very bad game. I guess it could be worse if it was a roll and move game, but I think if you were rolling a die, you would probably have about the same chance of getting the number you need as you would drawing 3 cards with numbers on them from 2 to 6. But hey, this game did come pretty much free with the 25th anniversary edition of the DVD, so can't really complain too much about it. You can get it pretty cheap. I've seen it for less than 20 bucks on Amazon, so that's worth the price of the DVD right there. And then you have the storyboards and the booklet like I showed you. And then heck, it's fun to just know that you have this game and look at it and never play it. It's fine. Next time, I'll be taking a look at a board game based on a John Hughes movie, Pretty in Pink.